Hello YouTube, welcome back. Ooh, what is that? George's car. But today I have a video for you. I'm going to try and show you guys what happens if you're on 91 and you just put E85 but certain amounts. So let's just say like a gallon or two, and then you move up to 3, 4, 5. so we're also going to keep an eye on the content. So right now it's E9, so that's 9%. That's 9% ethanol. But this car has actually been on 91 octane for the past 6 months, and I've seen it just go from 7, 8, and 9%, which means the 91 around here has anywhere from 6 to 10% ethanol in it roughly, which it actually states it on the pump. And I've used different gas stations, different brands, went to different cities, and I would monitor it the whole time, and generally it ranges from what I said earlier, the same percentage. So from like 6 to 7, from 7 to 9. One time it hit 10. It was a certain gas station. So some of the gas stations that don't have ethanol in it for the 91, sometimes they say it says contains no ethanol. Some pumps don't say anything, so this is just how it's always been. So that's normal. I mean, if your car right now, if it's not tuned, or whether it's tuned but it's on 91, if you were to install an ethanol gauge, you would see that it's not going to read 0. For most of you, it's going to read something on there. So this is with only 91 for the past 6 months, so we know that for sure everything's been flushed out. The 85 for sure has been flushed out. So 91, but it's at 9%. So it does not matter what this car has. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what horsepower it puts out. What we are doing here today is we're going to see the changes, the gains from going little by little. And I'm just gonna do like a gallon or two at a time. I'm not sure yet, you know, just as an example, and then until we try and get up to the full E85, and then we can see the differences on a NA V6. So we're gonna do a fresh baseline, and after that I'm gonna with whatever 91 I have left, that's what I'm going to just start mixing it. So I'm gonna mix it in there and start tuning it like that. Alright, so this is the baseline that we have right now on 91 octane, full 91. Of course, like I said, it's doing roughly about 9%. Also, you never had a gauge, most of you don't. It's normal if the ethanol content, you know, goes up and down during a pull. It's absolutely normal. For example, this one was at 9 and it went down to 8, and it was still at 8% while I was idling, and then it went back up to 9 on its own. That's perfectly normal because the fuel is moving through the sensor. 293.9, so 294, you want to round it off to the wheels, and 252. Again, it doesn't matter what this car has. We're not here for peak numbers. We're here to see the difference, the gains from certain ethanol content percentages. Certain ethanol percentages, we're gonna go up little by little, you know. I'll probably like get lazy or tired, and I'll just, you know, dump more E85. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna start off with maybe a gallon just to see what the gauge shows. So I will show you the gas gauge on 91, and then we'll see what happens after I add E85, like 1 gallon, and we'll see what the gauge says. Alright guys, so I added exactly 1 gallon of E85. It still says E9, so of course the gauge itself, this one doesn't show, you know, like 9.2%, 9.5, you know, something like that. It doesn't show that. But right now, looking at the data on my laptop, the computer is actually trying to make a lot of adjustments on idle, just based off of 1 gallon of E85. So the car's been on for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I'm gonna do a pull with one gallon. So this is why we're here. Oh, it just changed to E10. So you see, probably under a minute, 2 at the most. It went up 1%, but remember, it was already at 9%, and now we're at E11. So maybe I'll rev it or something. Okay, so 1 gallon. The car's kind of shaking a little bit. I could see the data. The computer is still trying to make adjustments, but it seems like it can right now. So E15. So we're looking about roughly 2 to 3 minutes of just idling. I barely started revving it when I mentioned it. So from full 91, which does that for the past 6 months, all those gas stations did contain roughly, let's just say 9% ethanol. So from 9%, so far 16% ethanol, and I put exactly 1 gallon, and now we're at 17. I kind of want to do the pull already, but I want to see when it stops. So it's already at E18. Let's rev it some more. So I actually don't know what it's going to do with 1 gallon of E85, like the percentage and the power. This is why we're here. So everyone who sees it, we will know. Again, this is just for data. It might be totally useless information for you. Maybe only the beginning to the end might be more important for most people, or maybe about halfways. You know, no one's really gonna mix 1 gallon in there, but we're gonna get some data off of 91 that contains under 10% ethanol, as the pump says, and 1 gallon. So maybe it stopped here. It might go up a little bit or down from this point. If it does, then that's completely normal. But I'm gonna do a pull, and I'm gonna see if I could even complete the pass. All right, so we're settled in around 17, 18, 19%. I'm gonna do the first pull without making any adjustments. This might be roughly 5 minutes, or 5 to a little bit over 5 minutes of since I put the 1 gallon of E85. So without me touching anything, it actually gained, well, I need to put the arrows on there, but it's a 299 and 258. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Just on 1 gallon, looking at the log during the pull, that 1 gallon alone did lean it out significantly. Some areas are actually not safe, and some areas are borderline okay. But for the sake of the video and you guys, I went ahead and did it anyway. So judging just by this 1 gallon of E85, I'm gonna say that's the most you can do without a tune. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna fix the fuel. I'm gonna fix the fuel pretty quickly and see what happens before I put the 2nd gallon in there. Alright, so we still have the 1 gallon of E85 in there, still in the same range, 17, 18, 19% ethanol. I made some adjustments. On idle, so far, it's two things at the same time. It's good and it's not. It's actually idling normal, but because the computer's controlling the idle right now. After I put another gallon, I know it's gonna require some tuning on idle, but it's the maximum the computer can do to adjust it. So the maximum adjustments on idle that the computer can do, it's already doing it right now. So I was looking at the computer to see what it was doing, and it's kind of like it's reached its limit just off of 1 gallon of E85, or what we can say is roughly 20% E85, 18 to 20%, because the 91 around here still has 9% ethanol roughly. Let's go ahead and do the pull. Alright, so 301 and 257. That's what the adjustments on, let's say, the 18% E85. I'm gonna go ahead and add the other gallon of E85, and then I'm gonna see if I can do the pull without having to touch anything, and after that I'll see if I can make some adjustments on there. Alright, so it's been about 3 to 4 minutes. I just wanted to wait a little bit longer. It's E28, 28%, total of 2 gallons of E85. Again, the original percentage was 9%, but it was from a 91 pump. For the past 6 months, different gas stations, it was basically the same. The last pull was 301 to the wheels on some adjustments that I made. So I'm not gonna make any adjustments right now. It's still the last adjustments off of the 301. Let's see if I can complete the pass like that without touching anything again. Uh, 302, 258. Again, does the same thing, goes up and down by a little bit. That's completely normal. So during the log, the 2 gallons, yeah, it's already dangerous. I actually already heard the motor pinging because it's already too lean. So I only did it because I already know what I'm doing, and I already know the limits. So at the 2 gallons, or let's just say at 27 to 28% ethanol, it is actually not safe to go full throttle. The idle, the computer is still like maxed out, but sometimes it sputters, sometimes it doesn't. It's still like I would say rare for it to do it at 27, 28% ethanol. But cruising, you should be okay. But at full throttle, it's already not safe at all. Even though it gained 1 horsepower and 1 torque, I mean, there's still the difference of when I got off the car. So I turned off the car, I went to put exactly another gallon, and then I got back in here, and then I was talking, so maybe the car cooled down a little bit. So it could be just that's how it is. You let it cool down, it's gonna gain. I would say it did the same. I would put it back at 301 and 257. So we could leave that 1 horsepower, 1 torque, as a variable. So it's basically the same thing, and it's actually already running, like I said, pretty dangerous. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some adjustments here. So I made some minor ones right now, and let's see what it does. Alright, so this is our set percentage, 27, 28. Made the adjustments. Alright, so we gained some horsepower and we actually have the torque back to 258. Let me go back and look at the log real quick. It's a tiny bit on the safer side, but I'm still going to make some more adjustments. So you see it gained a little bit more power, like I said, with the little adjustments I made before the pull, but it's still not safe. It's not fully safe. It's a little bit safer, yes, but for you guys to just do that, no, it's not safe. So I'm gonna get it to where it looks pretty safe. I just made the adjustments. So we have almost 2 more torque and point something of horsepower. I don't remember right now. Still 304, but it went up to 304.8. Let me look at the log real quick. And ethanol settled at 27%. Still requires a little bit more fixing. 305, 259. We gained some horsepower. Let me look at the log real quick. And the log looks pretty safe. So I'm gonna stop this right now. And so that was a 6-gallon jug. I put 2 gallons. So I need to put 4 more. So this time I'm gonna not put 1 more gallon because now we know at 2 gallons is where you really need some adjustments. So I'm just gonna dump the rest of it in. So it's gonna have a total of 6 gallons of E85, and we'll see where the percentage goes to. 6 gallons of E85 are in there, settled in at 50 to 51%. I've already made some minor adjustments. Let's see what it does on E50 mixed. .307 and 260 torque. That was with the minor adjustments I made. It was not enough. It was actually still dangerous. So I need to make more adjustments. Again, I'm only doing the pulls. I'm only doing the pulls like that because I can monitor everything. I already know what I'm doing for the sake of the video. But yeah, so let me make some more adjustments. So this is 307 and 260 at 50% ethanol. All right, so broad smells. And let's do the pull. Still on E50. Made more adjustments. .308 and 261. More adjustments on the E50 tip. Alright, so I added another 6 gallons. So total of 12 gallons of E85. We're now at 65% ethanol. Tank is almost full, depending what angle you look at it, just like that one meme where if you don't have gas. So unfortunately, I don't have any more E85. I only got 12 gallons and nobody's here. So I don't feel like taking it off the dyno and getting more gas and loading it back on. But yeah, this is it. I'm gonna continue the video for this, which would be for 65% roughly, and we'll see what it does. I'm gonna have to just try it again later. So next time, if I remember, I'll just finish it off when it reaches roughly the 85% content. So I guess this is the first part of the video. I'm already gonna make some more adjustments for E65. $309, $262, 1 to 1.5 horsepower. I'll look at the log, see if I need to change anything. And the 91 stinks. I wonder if Fresh 6 hates it. Let's try it again. Back to back. Alright, a little more adjustments. Let's see what it does. There it is, 310, 262. I'm gonna look at the log pretty quick. I feel like that's about it. Yeah, so that's about it. Ran out of E85. Either way, the tank is almost full. It would probably take roughly another 2 to 3 gallons, and maybe it'll go to E70 something. I'm not too sure, but this is what it does on 65% ethanol. I'll go ahead and put the before and after. Alright, so from the 9% ethanol we started at, which of course, like I said again, it's full 91. That's what's been here. Like I said, for the past 6 months, that's what I've been pumping, 91. So, you know, whether your car's tuned or not, or whatever reason, you're also running up to 9-10% ethanol in your car, whether it's a Camry or something else. You know, if you're pumping 91, that's how it is. It depends. The pump would probably have to say it contains no ethanol. Some of them don't say anything, and it does contain a little bit, but as you can see, the 9%, you know, depends on your mods, what you have. There's a whole lot of like talking about that, which I'm not going to do. But to get back to this, from 91 to 65% ethanol, E65, with the tune, the car gained 16 wheel horsepower and 9 torque to the wheels. So the torque was 252, of course, with the mods and the tune, and after is 262. Again, 293 to 310, 16.2 wheel horsepower peak. The new line is the purple line for the E65, and the 91 is the orange one right there, unless it looks yellow on your screen or something. But yeah, this is it. Unfortunately, tank's almost full. I don't have any more E85. Once it gets closer to 85, I'll try and continue the video to see what we can gain more. But of course, every car is different, and of course, it'll depend on your baseline, what mods you have. The beginning of the video, I did say it doesn't matter what this car has, because we're just gonna do the difference, the gains from 91 to, I guess, 85, but we only went to E65 today. Of course, this car does have the UPT injectors, which they're 550cc injectors that George makes. So it does require bigger injectors. It all depends on what mods you have, that you may or may not need injectors for 1 gallon. Obviously, it's a waste of your money to just do like a 1 gallon 85 tune on these cars. There are cars that supposedly you can run a certain amount, maybe like 15%, 20%. I'm not too sure. Kind of heard the new Mustangs, the 5.0s, can do that. I'm not too sure whether it has an internal sensor to detect ethanol. Maybe if you pump ethanol in those cars and it runs kind of funny, maybe it doesn't have an ethanol sensor, but it does some adjustments, kind of how this car was trying to do adjustments, but it could only do it for a certain percentage. But yeah, so this is it right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe it was boring for you, maybe it was interesting, but we will see if I have time to do the full E85. And that is it. See you guys in the next video. But before I go, don't go pumping a gallon of E85 in your car. Just don't even do it. Like, just don't do it. This was for educational purposes, for information. So don't even do it. Like, don't do it.